Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I am coming back at you with another Wargaming and miniature video. In this video, we're going to continue on with our What's in the Box video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Battlefront's Flames of War World War II Rifle Company, which is a late war set. I personally plan to be using this for a Normandy game. I'm actually going to paint these up as glider troops because the rifle company can be used as either a company headquarters and 2 platoons of rifle, or a company headquarters and 2 platoons of glider, and you could even paint these up as rangers. It says you get 34 infantry teams and 13 unit cards. That's what the box tells us. The box tells us that you get 4 light machine guns and 4 mortars, 4 bazookas, and then 18 rifle teams and 2 styles of leadership. You get the rifle leadership and you have the submachine gun leadership. It's an all plastic kit. I'm going to show you the individual parts, and I'm going to show you that this box was very surprising to me, in that I got way more than what you see on the box cover. And that's one reason why we're doing these What's in the Boxes, because I want you to know exactly what you're getting. Alright, so let's go ahead and set this box off to the side just to get it out of my personal way. And we're going to start off with the cards. Nicely packaged in a Ziploc bag for easy storage and they don't get damaged. The cards, you're going to get a bunch of cards, mainly because the box can build so many different types of units. So there are quite a few cards in here. Now, all these cards are geared towards Flames of War. Now, all these cards are geared toward the game Flames of War. But Flames of War, as well as a lot of other miniature games, try to get it right when they say like how many troops and what they're actually carrying are in these companies. But this card basically says if you're playing a D-Day American formation, you need to have one of these as your base formation, like a glider rifle company, an assault company. This is just for D-Day Americans, not necessarily what is in this box, because you obviously don't get any tanks. Okay, and D-Day Americans can buy these types of support troops, and how many of them. And then it basically gives you the movement orders that you can issue. And that's just a good quick reference for when you're playing the game. Okay, so these cards are stuck together, but that just means they're brand new. And they're laminated in a way where you could take a wet erase pen, you could draw it on there and then wipe it off. That's what it is built for. So I don't know if you need to take notes or casualties or anything like that. You could, but it's also there just for protection. Okay, now I'm trying to get all the cards that are exactly the same. Okay, because these are the rifle platoon cards, and you get 2 of them because you get 2 rifle platoons. You're also going to, okay, that's glider. That's a glider rifle company. This is just rifle platoons. But now you're looking at a glider rifle platoon. Another glider rifle platoon. And some differences between these are that this comes with a bazooka team, your rifle team, you can either get 10 or 7, and then it looks like it's 8 or 6 points. And then you could always add a light machine gun to it. No mention of a mortar. Where the glider rifle team has the same, 10 or 7, but included with theirs, you get a light mortar and a light machine gun included in the 10 or 8 points. So it basically forces you to take the mortar and the bazooka team over here where those are optional. And then you have a ranger company headquarters with a ranger platoon and a ranger platoon. And then back to the rifle company headquarters as part of the rifle platoon. And then finally, there are 3 cards as well for the veteran rifle company. So you have the veteran rifle company headquarters rifle platoon, and this card system I really like. I wish other games would adopt cards like this and include them with like packages that for their games. Because when I build a platoon, if I have a player playing with me or something like that, and he wants to know what his unit can do, you can hand him this card, and he'll know all of his unit's stats. Now, will he know which of these 2 you bought? Only if you mark it, you know. And then there's a little room here to write on as well. Yeah, these guys come with the veterans, right? They come with 10 or 7, right? Plus the bazooka team. And then you can add an additional bazooka, right? For an extra point. Or you could add up to 2 light machine guns or 1 heavy machine gun. You know, so the numbers, you know, I'm seeing confident 4. They have an ability called Blood and Guts. So do they. I don't see Blood and Guts over here. But I do see Yankee Ingenuity, which is a tactics. That's a rally. They have Deadly Assault. Yeah. So it's just different abilities, but I'm not really focusing on the cards or how to play Flames of War. That's not my intent of this video. My intent of this video is to tell you exactly what you get in the box. All right, now let's talk about the sprues, and then I'll get to the bases when it comes down to it here in just a second. But you get 6 bases. You get 6 sprues, all exactly the same. And then, so I'll just show you one of the sprues, and then you'll just know that you get 6 of those. And then you get 2 of what I like to call the support element, or extras. You get 2 sprues of, I guess they would call them the command element, but actually your officers are on this sprue. So I'm going to call this my support element. And those 2 miniature sprues come in a little Ziploc for extra protection. These don't come in any kind of Ziploc. There is bubble wrap crammed into the bottom of the box to keep the contents from rattling around inside. Now, these 2 sprues are exactly the same, so we'll just look at one of each of these. Okay, there's a couple of things while I'm not zooming in just yet, and I will get to that here in a minute. There's a couple of things I want to point out that I find not alarming, but it's basically just way different than what the box said. Okay, so maybe I can put the box in a way that you can see. All right, I'm going to put this box down here so that you can kind of see what it tells you get. Okay, which actually I'm extremely pleasantly surprised in the amount of figures I get in this box. Because if you count, I don't count the mortar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, just 20 times 6 is 120 figures. Right? Right. And then another 24. That's 144 figures just on these sprues. And then I get 12 more. So 156 figures. Yeah, I'm getting 156 figures in this box, which is way more than what I think this is showing. But let me explain why. Okay, there is a mortar and a mortar crew of 3, right, on, or it could be 2, but depending on like if you're doing Rangers or what have you. But there are a mortar crew of 3 times, and that shows a mortar crew of 3 with the mortar, and it says 4, when in fact you get 6. Okay, so far so good. There's 3 bazookas, one there, and one there, each with their own loader. This says you get 4 bazookas. You in fact get, what is that, 3 times 6? 18 bazookas. You get 18 bazookas. I'm never going to field 18 bazookas, but it does give you like a forward leaning, a back leaning, and a kneeling. So that's depending on the way I wanted to do it. Or it gives me an option to make some of these gliders, some of these Rangers, some of these just regular infantry, right? I think these could also be used as armored infantry as well. So just take a look at that. Okay, guys, like in half tracks and stuff. All right, so you get 18, not 4. That says you get 4. I almost got 4 on one sprue. Okay, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing in that I'm getting these extra support elements, but it's a bad thing in that I might have unused figures out of that 150 models. Okay, so I'll explain like how many rifle teams I can actually have. Okay, what else do we get? Well, we get a light machine gun here, right? And this says I get 4 of them. Well, that's not true. I got 6 of them. 1 per sprue, 6 sprues. That's just incredible. And then on each sprue, there are a number of guys that would be considered NCOs or officers. I get 2 Thompsons and a kneeling Thompson, right? So these guys would be my NCOs. If you look onto the back of the sprue, it actually says NCO, NCO, and this one says NCO. The riflemen's all have R, the bazooka has BZ, the mortar has M, the machine gunner has MG. Okay, so all that works. Now, and then this guy is actually labeled O for officer, and he has a pistol, and you know, and he's pointing, and he looks like he's carrying less weight because it doesn't look like he has an entrenching tool or anything. So you get 6 officers, which you can do as you see fit, plus 3 submachine guns times 6. So you're looking at another 18 submachine guns, which can be mixed and matched however you want. So far we're doing really good. Now I think I got 10 individual riflemen. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9. Wait, what's this guy here? 10, right. So I got 10 riflemen, either in a running pose, a kneeling firing, a standing firing, just a variety of different action poses. And the scale, I'm very impressed with, in the fact that the models look, they don't look like, I've seen other models from this company that seem to be way out of scale. These guys seem to be closer to scale, but still the weapons seem to be just a little bit larger. Like most good war games, you get larger scales of weapons, but these models look really good, and I will zoom in on that in just a second. Okay, so 10 times 6 sprues gives me 60 rifles. So that's just under half of the entire box. Remember, the entire box is 150 plus. Well, this is 60 riflemen. When you're putting together your command elements or your rifle teams, you have to intermix a bunch of those use all your rifles, basically. If I was to say that I have 6 sprues, 6 mortars, and 6 machine guns, and one figure goes on to, one rifleman that is, goes on the, or a submachine gun. One submachine gun goes on the mortar, one submachine gun goes on the machine gun, the mortar and the machine gun. Right. That leaves me with 1 submachine gun and 10 riflemen. So you're looking at 11. So 66 figures to be used to make rifle teams. Or if you intermix your officers in there, well, we'll get into that in a second. Well, I'm not going to break it all down. You can figure it out or break it up however you feel. But the most important thing to me was this sprue. I know it's weird, right? But this was a very important sprue for me, because I'm doing D-Day Glider, and D-Day Glider, in Flames of War, I don't know what they're thinking, but in the other games that I'm playing, I require BAR teams. It mentions nothing about BARs here or on the cards, but I'm happy to announce that they give me 3 BARs on this sprue. And with 2 of these, that's 6 BARs. So that would allow me to make 6 squads, right? 3 squads for first platoon, 3 squads for second platoon, each one with a BAR inside of it. And it gives me a radio man. There is a guy speaking on a radio. He has a radio backpack. And you get 2 of those. So you can either put those in your command stands, or in my case, I might be putting them on an FO stand or something like that. So just depending on however I want it, maybe an FSU or an FO stand. Yeah, but you get 2 radio men, and then you get 3 BARs, and then that leaves you with 1 additional... Wait. 2 additional figures. One has a Thompson and one has a rifle. So this guy is yelling over his shoulder. This guy's got his Thompson behind him where he's reloading. I would consider both of these senior officers. Plus, yeah, so you get even more officer material. But there's only 2 of them. And so that would work out for the 2 different types of stands that you make there. If you make a submachine gun stand or if you make a rifle stand, and that's what these 2 would represent. Okay, so I didn't break it all down. I'm not doing the math for you. I'm going to allow you to do the math. But if I was to imagine, if I'm imagining my gliders, right? So, like there's 10 rifles and a spare submachine gun in here, plus a BAR, I could make a 12-man squad, and I could make 6 of them, right? I can make 6 12-man squads. Okay, so let's take a look at the... But I'm not making 10-man squads. I'm not making 12-man squads. I'm only making 10-man squads. So, yeah. Okay, so one good thing about, I've noticed, Battlefront does, is they include the bases that you need, but there's a couple of things. They have these holes in them, pre-designed, randomized, because you'll see that every one of these, not every one of these, they're actually numbered on the back. Like this one says medium 4-hole number 12. So what that's telling me is this is a medium-sized base. It has 4 holes already pre-cut, and it's number 12. So there must be at least 12 different styles of bases. I don't think I've seen anything larger than a 12. Like that's number 8, etc., etc. And then they also give you these small bases as well. And in this box, there's no need for any kind of large base. Now they're beveled, so they look good on the table, and they're brown. So if you wanted to paint these figures on the sprue, or paint them on popsicle sticks, or however you do it, you can paint them and then glue them into your base, and then just apply flock directly to the base. But I personally would never do that. But it's brown. It's a good color. It's just like what you see here. But I personally would prime the base and paint it however I would normally paint my flock. Okay, so now you get these plugs as well. So there are teams. Let's say I've got this 3 base, but I only put 2 figures on that base, like a bazooka man or something like that. You can fill one of those holes with this plug to prevent having to go down in there and putty. The bases on the figures are designed in such a way that they fit in the holes and it becomes flush, so you don't have to apply any putty. I really like that forethought. Okay, so let's kind of take a look at bases and try to see exactly if it's possible. Remember I said I could do 8, 12, or not 8, I could do 6 12-man squads. Okay, and so 4 of these bases would equate to a 12-man squad. And so I could do... Okay, so it looks like I have enough bases to do all those squads that I need to do. And then I have, but right, okay. But what I plan to do is actually use some 2-man bases to act as the leadership for each squad, and then taking one of these bases off to make it a, oh no, hold on. Yeah, to make that a 10-man squad. But let's just figure this out. So we got those squads. How many? I got 6 mortars, right? So they give you enough bases to do the 6 light mortars. And then they give you, actually, they only give you enough bases to do the 4 light machine guns and the 4 mortars. So if you want to assemble those additional mortars, you would need to acquire other bases. They give you your 2, here it is, your 2 3-man command and 2 3-man command, and then they give you 4 bases for bazookas. So what they're telling you on the box is how many bases they're giving you, not necessarily how many figures they're giving you, because you can actually make 2 additional bazookas, you can make 2 additional machine guns, 2 additional mortars, and then the command. Yeah, so that right there is 36. So that's 72 infantry, 72, and then 80, 90, 110, 122, 124. Okay, so they only give you enough bases for 124 of your miniatures. But like I said, you're going to have 2 more machine guns. That's 120, 134, nope, 132, and then 140, and then 144. Okay, so you're going to have a few extra models laying around. Even after you make the extra machine guns and extra mortars, you're still going to have a few extra men, because I'm going to put like a radio in each of these, and then the officers on those guys. I'm going to put submachine guns in all these squads. I'm going to actually not make them 12-man squads. I'm going to make them 10-man squads. So I'm going to be able to make even more out of this package. I am very happily pleased. Now let's do this thing. Let's go ahead and zoom in on these figures so you can kind of see everything. All right, guys, this is the command or the support element that I was mentioning. This is one of your BAR riflemen, the Browning Automatic Rifleman. There's your officer with the Thompson holding it behind his back, plus he's got this holster. This guy is got his carbine and he's yelling. Pretty awesome. Then looking at the other side, you got another BAR holding it high, and then this guy has a BAR holding it at low ready, and then this is the radio man. He's got the headset up to his ears. These guys look really good. Look at the gaiters. You know, the belt pouch detail. The cord coming off the handset, the slings, the helmets with the chin straps dangling. This guy looks like he might have a camo net on his helmet. You can see the radio on his back. Now these guys don't really show. Okay, he's got, what is that, a canteen? He's got a canteen as well. Okay, they all have canteens, right? Okay. And then this guy looks like he has an entrenching tool on his waist. And looking at the cross straps. Yeah, these guys are going to be a joy to paint. Okay, now let's take a look at one of the sprues of the infantry. All right, let's take a look right here at one of the figures. This is one of the bazooka loaders. This is the kneeling bazookaman here. You can see the detail on the entrenching tools, the additional pouch hanging off this guy's shoulder, and looks like there's a little bit of flash right there you got to clean up, but that's not what this is about. This is not the quality. This is a what you get in the box. This guy's got a bandolier of ammo. There's another submachine gun. This guy is obviously part of the mortar team, and there's the mortar. And the mortar is on one of those round bases as well to fit in one of these holes. Okay, now we're going to the fourth row, the third row actually. This is the bazooka loader and bazookaman. This is another bazookaman. You notice the leg positioning is just slightly different. And then you got one of the guys maneuvering. This guy is a bazooka loader. And then you've got your machine gun. This is the back of the machine gun. And then you got like one of these arms. And then I'll have to flip this over so you can see what it looks like. But this will go on the gunner. And then one of these arms will go on the gunner, where the other arm will go on the loader, and or maybe both of those will go on the loader and one arm on the gunner. I just have to figure out how that goes together. But yeah, so let's flip these over. Take a look at your rifleman. There's a rifleman, Grand. And then skipping down to the submachine gun. He's got a lot of extra magazines. Pointing and yelling. And there's your officer with just a pistol. I might make him an FoW. Or even a medic, maybe. And then this guy's throwing a grenade. This guy's at low ready. Okay, let's take a look at the backside of these guys. Okay, and you can look at the sprue, how it gives you those letters saying they're riflemen or bazookamen, etc. Luckily, these guys don't have any kind of backpacks. They do have canteens and entrenching tools. No haversacks or anything, just ammo. And then there's the bottom of the machine guns. And the machine guns have the little disc as well to fit down inside of one of those bases. This one had me a little confused, but that's the rifle, and then that little piece there is actually the entrenching tool handle sticking out. Okay, backside of the bazooka, crewman, bazooka, kneeling rifleman, another NCO, and then the mortar pieces. Yeah. All right, I hope that really helps you out. And I want to say this real here. Models supplied unpainted and require assembly, scenery, glue, and paint not included. And then this last little part, contents may vary from those shown. Well, it definitely did. Now, I'm just assuming that this is the exact same for every rifle company box. And if that's the case, you definitely get your money's worth. This is probably the most extra miniatures I've seen in a set. I'm going to be able to do all the figures I need to do for my glider company. And it came out of this rifle company box. Alright guys, thanks for coming out and checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one.